Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and our guest today is Dave Richards, who is the co-founder and managing director or managing partner of Capria Ventures, an affiliate of Unitus. Dave, welcome back to the show. We're thrilled to have you again.
Thanks, Devin. Great to be here.
You know, you're doing some amazing things. You've been with Unitus, what, 15 years?
Yeah, actually, a little bit, probably around 10 plus years now. It's been a while.
Yeah. Long time, doing a lot of great work, and your new program, your new initiative is really, I think, innovative. But before we really talk about the program, let's talk about the problem you're trying to address.
Sure. So we started addressing as Unitus more than a decade ago, which has now become a well-known issue in the market, which is emerging markets have a growing number of high-quality entrepreneurs who are solving local problems with really interesting businesses that can be profitable and scalable and everything. The challenge is they don't have access to the capital they need to get those businesses off the ground and get to that scaling stage. Early stage capital, some people call this the pioneer gap. So there's just not good, smart risk capital available. So that's what we're trying to solve with Capria.
It is an interesting thing. It seems to me that there is no shortage of money in the world. And there are a lot of arguments around that. I realize that some people would disagree with that statement, but there is a ton of cash available in the world that could be invested in impact and isn't. And so it suggests that part of the problem is on the product side. And it seems to me that your program helps to address that problem. Tell us a little bit about the program and what you're doing.
Yeah. So what we're doing is basically trying to address the problem of you're right, there is a large and growing amount of capital that wants to make a difference in this world. And in particular in emerging markets where there's lots of opportunity to make that difference at scale. The challenge is that it's very difficult when you're talking about an early stage investment where you're investing, tens of thousands or a few hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that without having good local knowledge, both upfront and then be able to support an investment post investment. And so you've got intentions that are great, but the challenge is that it's very difficult to do airplane investing, to fly in, make an investment, and leave, and think that investment's going to work out. So what happens is there's a great dearth of there's interest, but there's not. What we really need to do actually is have people on the ground who can find these entrepreneurs. They're doing great things, and then support them that you trust and you believe in, that can be your intermediaries to really help support those entrepreneurs. And that's really the gap that we're trying to address, is to help find a new generation of, let's call them fund managers. These are local people. They know the local ecosystem, the local business environment. They know who are the good guys and the bad guys they should be investing in, and then finding those people and then helping them get off the ground. And there's some particular challenges for these fund managers, often first-time fund managers, who want to, in places such as Ghana or Nigeria or Indonesia or even a place such as Bolivia, there are these needs, but there aren't, at least the investors and impact investors aren't finding that there are enough local people they trust to give their money to as an intermediary who then would invest and support these small businesses. So we're trying to address that with Capria.
So a lot of the lessons that you're sharing as mentors, as advisors to these would-be fund managers, come from your experience in India managing your fund there. We don't have a lot of time, and I wish we had more time for this discussion, but give us a few of the highlights, some of those key lessons you learned as a fund manager in India.
Yeah, so what we learned in India, and we've now become the most active early stage, they call it seed stage investor in India with Unitus Seed Fund. We learned that you have to, first you have to find the the right quality people that you can trust and that have some investing skills to go and do that local investing. And then you need to really build up a system, a platform, a very efficient method for making these small investments, because you have to right-size your costs so that you're not overwhelmed with the cost of managing your investments when they're these small investments. And then you have to have a strategy of then supporting these entrepreneurs after you've invested. And so we've learned some very creative ways to very efficiently support these entrepreneurs in India, and we've seen a lot of success so far in what we're doing there.
As you think about the impact of this, where do you see this going, and kind of on what timeline would you see it developing?
Sure. So one of the things you'd mentioned is we're doing mentoring, and for sure we're doing mentoring as we look at finding this new generation of fund managers in emerging markets. But I think even more important, what we're doing is or as important is we're actually investing into these managers. So we're taking an investing approach. We're providing, with Capria, we're providing seed capital for up to 30 different fund management teams across emerging markets in places such as Sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and even parts of South Asia. So we're going to support up to 30 different new managers who are setting up these funds with capital to help them get going, and then also the mentoring and support over a multi-year period. And we think that that combination is quite unique, and also is really helpful in getting these managers going. And part of our goal is to be a catalyst here. What we want to do is help get these managers off the ground, and then also help them go raise that capital both locally within their countries, but also internationally, pooling it together to then go and invest into those great entrepreneurs that they're seeing on the ground.
What do you see as being probably the typical fund size?
Yeah, so many cases what we're seeing so far, so we've had interest from over 200 fund managers already across the globe from dozens of countries. And the range is from as small as $5 or $10 million, which is really sort of the minimum you need to get this kind of thing going. You have to have a certain amount of capital that you can put to work. Up to 20 or 30, and some even more. I think the sweet spot that we're seeing is people launching funds that are typically in the $10 to $20 million range initially, which gives them an ability to invest in enough businesses so that if some of them don't work out, which is what's going to happen, they don't, all their money doesn't get lost. So they're basically building a portfolio of promising entrepreneurs that they're investing in. So I think that's kind of the typical. And then what the progress that we're expecting to see is that they would do this, they would raise this first small fund, let's say in the $10 to $20 million range, and then they would demonstrate success over a few years. And then they would raise additional capital and really get to sustainability. So they could continue to, on basically an ongoing basis, continue to invest in more and more businesses, high growth potential businesses within their local economies.
Now, this is exciting for the future. I want to take advantage, though, of the opportunity that I've got you to just tap in and get some personal insights from you, if you'll forgive that. But you are clearly a role model to a lot of people, and by virtue of this program, you're becoming a role model to a lot of people around the globe. What and who inspires you? Who's your role model?
I think that's a really good question. I think that my role model is, or maybe the way that I guess that motivates me is that I've been able to build businesses. I've had a lot of support as I've been building businesses. And then as I've seen through my travels and my work with Unitus over the last decade, the opportunity and the intention of so many great entrepreneurs, it's really inspired me to find out ways that I can use my skills, my entrepreneur skills, to help form, in this case, new capital sources, new support systems that really address a problem that has been nagging at us for a long time. And so I think that, you know, I probably relate to a lot of the entrepreneurs out there who, when they see a problem and they see that the current approach is really not working, it sort of bugs them, and they see, you know, and they see a path forward that they believe that they can pursue. And so, you know, there's been many entrepreneurs who've done that, you know, in technology, in healthcare, in areas of education. I mean, people who have seen that there is a better way forward. So many people have inspired me.
That's great. Now, Dave, why do you care about this? And I want to be sure to clarify this question. I understand why investing for impact is important. I understand why being mindful of people who sit at the bottom of the pyramid is important. What I want to understand is why you personally care about it. What's your connection to it? What drives you there?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that really drives me is, on a personal basis, is I really think that people deserve an opportunity to realize their potential in life. And I see what really frustrates me is that when I see systems where you've got really good quality people who have really innovative ideas and they are not getting those ideas supported, it really frustrates me, because I think that we have at our fingertips so many of the solutions to create a better and fairer world, and a world of more opportunity for people to realize their potential. So I have sort of an innate interest. Maybe I'm intrigued by why. I ask my question: why isn't that being solved? Why can't that be solved? And I guess it's a curiosity that drives me, and I think it also comes from my upbringing and in seeing the modeling of my parents and many people around me who made choices to go and try and use their skills and their resources to help people who didn't have as much and didn't have the opportunity they had. So I think I've definitely had some really good role models.
Oh, that's great. Now, we ask all of our guests to share with us one impact hack, a tip that allows us to do more good. You've done a lot of good. Dave, what's your impact hack? What do you do that we could emulate to have more impact on the world?
Yeah, I think I think one of the things that I really encourage people who want to do impact investing to do is to experiment with new models. Unfortunately, so many of us are concerned when we go into impact investing that, you know, our money might be, investment might not work out, and what leads us to is to often to be more conservative and just want to go and invest in the things that are proven, the things that are already demonstrated to work, and those are fine. But those are not the things that are going to be able to have the innovation and the breakthrough. So I encourage people, and I do this personally as well, is to take a portion of your impact investing wallet and choose to put that into experimentation, into things where people are trying things that have potential, that have promise, but aren't proven and are probably higher risk. And if more of us can do that, I think we'll actually see more innovation.
That's a great. I think the application of that goes well beyond impact investing, but I think that's a great insight for us. And I'm trying to think through how I can apply that great counsel in my own life, my own business. So thank you very much, Dave. Before you go, I want you to just take a minute and tell everyone how they can learn more about the new Accelerator program and how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. So we've put a bunch up on our website, which is capria.vc. And we're also on Twitter at CapriaVC, Facebook, CapriaVC, etc. Just look us up. And you can see more about our program. And if you are a fund manager out there who's trying to get a new fund launched in an emerging market, we're accepting applications right now for our accelerator at our website. And we'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Well, Dave, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We wish you every success in scaling up venture capital around the world in the developing world. That'll be great.
Thanks so much, Devin. Thanks for the time today.
All righty. Let's do some good.